So this is what TMZ had to say, man. Olympian gold medalist Sha'Carri Richardson was arrested for allegedly assaulting her boyfriend, fellow athlete Christian Coleman. The Team USA Olympic sprinter was taken into custody on Sunday at SeaTac Airport in Washington State after a TSA agent reported a woman assaulting a man while leaving a security checkpoint. An incident reported by TMZ says. We also have the reporting officer says they reviewed the security footage. Now, this is my first time actually reading this right now in real time. So they reviewed the security footage showing a verbal altercation escalating into a physical one when Richardson shoved Coleman hard enough that it sent him crashing into a nearby column. The officers say Coleman tried walking away from his girlfriend in 2 years, but she continued following him and again pushed him hard enough that it sent him flying a few feet away. I guess Sha'Carri must be strong, right?
She
Police
is.
say the
No.
altercation progressed when Coleman returned to the TSA screening lanes in an attempt to get help, during which Richardson following him and throwing a pair of headphones, striking him. Wow. The responding officer developed probable cause after reviewing the footage and placed Richardson into custody. She was booked into the Score jail and charged with fourth-degree assault.
What?
In an interview with police, both Richardson and Coleman denied any physical altercation, and Coleman declined to be a victim or to press charges per the report. It's not clear when Richardson was released, but Sha'Carri and Coleman both participating in track event Thursday in Oregon. So shout out to TMZ.
No, not shout out to TMZ. You guys deserve to be sued. Y'all are trying to ruin this Black Olympians brand. Nike is backing her, and I'm gonna say it. I think we should read the report and actually watch the video, because to me, I can't even call my nigga stupid in public, and now I'm getting charged. This is crazy. Why do we? I think they're playing it up. I think TMZ is trying to sell like whatever, and they're hyper escalating it. They're making it seem like she was this aggressor, but we just heard a completely different story.
If this was flipped, if this was Sha'Carri that actually this was happening to, we would be having a whole different conversation. And I think this is the hypocrisy of women. Me as a woman is that I don't believe that anybody should put hands on anybody in a relationship, because men go through physical abuse all the time in their relationships. It's the same thing that happened with Terry Crews when Terry Crews was assaulted, and people felt like because he was big and strong that he wasn't allowed to be assaulted. Nobody should be putting their hands on anybody. If this was him doing it to a woman, we would all be in an uproar. We would all be making think pieces. But because it's a man and it's a Black woman doing it to a man, now it's like, oh, they're trying to ruin her image. No, she should have kept her hands to herself. Even if he pissed her off, she should have kept her hands, knowing that she had a lot to lose. She should have kept her hands to herself and not perpetuate the ghetto image of the angry Black woman, because it's not just her, it's other women like myself, like you, and the beautiful, I'm sorry, I don't want to butcher her name, Miss Pearl up there, that image is fitting. She literally just took us back 10 years. Because I'm an athlete. So now
I'm an athlete too. Sorry.
I'm a volleyball player. Now it's like her being that, like, she didn't need to do a masculine intake at the airport and make us look even more like feeding into the narrative.
The thing, you should know more than anyone that all it takes is one little thing off for someone to take your little human thing and escalate it. Remember, the first story told us there were no charges. She threw the phone. In this story, she followed him around the store. He was screaming for help. Two completely different stories. And one, I think, is intentionally sensationalized because of what you just said. There is this image of Black women being hyper masculine, of being unruly, and associating that type of image with being an Olympian is, it has a cultural connotation that even at a high status, we can't even behave.
I think you're overlooking the point. I think you're overlooking the point. She shouldn't have put herself in a situation where it could even have had something to say, a news article like this, whether she didn't push her, whether they drew it out. She created attention and created a moment where they had to bring police. They had to be, so whatever way we want to put it, whether TMZ
they're in Oregon, sis. They're in Oregon. Right?
No, they were in Seattle. They were in Seattle.
Okay, but they're in a hyper white place, and we
no, it's not about being hyper. This is the airport. This has nothing to do with race. This is just why would you create? And if you're in a public setting, if he would have done that, to her, I don't care what we're saying. If he would have done that to her, it would have been a whole different conversation.
I think we need Sorry,
it would have been a whole different. Miss Pearl, I'm sorry. I think you wanted to say something. I didn't mean to interject.
Oh no, you got it. I'm literally like agreeing with everything that you're saying. I was just checking and repeating. So you know, you got it.
Like, I agree with you.
I just don't. I feel like women want to be protected. Black women, we claim that we want to be protected. We want to be seen a certain kind of way. We also have to carry ourselves a certain kind of way. We have to present a certain kind of way. So I'm not saying that he probably didn't, but this isn't even just being about a black woman. I don't think in any if you're in a relationship that requires you to throw something, put your hands in, it's done. If you have to get to that point in a relationship where there needs to be a physical exchange, the relationship is done.
And I want to first and foremost say I respectfully agree, and I think on a principle level, I agree. Like we can all say that's common sense. Respect each other's humanity and space. But I will say though, there are times where you're not thinking about being an Olympian. One of the things that I like about Sha'Carri is the fact that she is one of the more authentic, transparent athletes out here, and so you have to understand when you're being hyper seen. And you're competing at a high level, they are looking for any fucking little thing. It doesn't matter. They're looking for any little thing to degrade your brand. And I'm going to say, yes, I agree with you. Don't put hands on people. But are we really sure that happened? Or are they just trying to sell headlines and fuck up her brand?
Are the cameras broken?
Because that's exactly what I would do if it was a black man. I want to look at the tapes. Because
but the tapes, that's what they're telling you. The tapes were reviewed before they pressed charges.
But it's TMZ. TMZ intentionally creates, since y'all remember that
no, but TMZ didn't send the police. TMZ didn't send the police.
TMZ said she followed him. TMZ
because that's what the tape said. The tape is what they watched.
You have to understand that media twists shit, and they have an incentive to twist shit. And TMZ,
but does that take away from what happened? Does that mean that what happened didn't happen?
Saying, okay, do you remember the year, like a whole year, like Kanye West was crashing out on TMZ, and it was like, you guys always crashing. You guys always want to get it. But they were actually provoking him, trying to create an image of his lack of stability and push that out into the media to somehow imply he wasn't a fit father.
But what does that have to do with Seattle Airport?
What I'm trying to say is, as there is the truth, and then there's media that twists the truth because they want to perpetuate a stereotype.
I think I'm going to have to agree to disagree. Maybe never. I'm not even going to agree.
I don't know why you would trust TMZ.
I'm not even listening to TMZ. I followed the story. I'm not even listening to TMZ all in total. My whole thing is, if you are in a place, this is the airport. This isn't even on the street. This isn't even at their house. This is a public, secured environment that you had to create such a scene that police had to be called. A whole situation had to be created, and you're an athlete, Olympian. I don't care what TMZ says. Let's leave the news out of it. She created a dynamic that had to be a story. Let's focus on that.
I want to say, I don't agree with you because, again, as Black people and Black people of excellence, we know that we have to always be on our P's and T's and Q's. We can't even be human because someone will twist and manipulate something completely normal. There's thousands of videos of white women screaming in their boyfriends' faces, throwing water in their faces, and we see all types of different celebrities doing worse.
Does that make it okay? Does that make it okay?
Again, I disagree. You and I disagree on what factually happened, right? So you believe TMZ. I think we should doubt TMZ because TMZ has a motive to make Black people look a certain way. I think the police report. So
let's let a guy talk because I don't want to make it like we're just having this banter with us.
Yeah, go ahead, True. Your thoughts about what you're seeing thus far, what the ladies talking about?
Yeah, I mean, they doing such a good job of having opposing viewpoints. So I appreciate the polarity. But I guess Sha'Carri Richardson, outside of my opinion, she's not really worth much of an honorable mention. You know, she's talented from an athletic perspective. But if she wasn't an Olympian, we wouldn't be having this conversation. She seems to exemplify most of what, unfortunately, we see in our community.
The stereotype.
Yeah.
I hate this.
Yeah, she perpetuates the stereotype that we're trying
to. Hold on. I don't think
Go ahead, Mr. Table. Go ahead, Mr. Table. I apologize. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, but I mean, just it's not shocking. You know, it doesn't surprise me. It's you know, open up your window outside in any hood, any area like that. Probably see this type of behavior. So this just is an example that no matter what heights you ascend to on a global scale, what type of notoriety you may garner, if you do not fix the inside of toxicity, develop yourself and put yourself in other environments, you will showcase where you come from.
Does it matter to you that he said nothing happened?
It doesn't shock me. Most of the time, unfortunately, a lot of dudes in our community protect the women from themselves.
Wait, there's a lot for help, according to TMZ.
Yeah, well, that's speculative.
How many women say?
Why do you believe? Okay,
but how many times do we see women, cover for their men when they're being abused?
Don't move the goalposts. We're talking about this. That does happen, but it's not relevant. What we're talking about, you're saying that this man intentionally did not press charges, but then we're also hearing, I was screaming for help. What's the truth? Do you guys not see the inconsistency? Why would you tell the police, hey, look, nothing's going on, everything is good, but then also put out in the media he was screaming for help in an airport?
Yeah, I am. I tell you what I see. I see another example of Sha'Carri Richardson right now on the panel.
Where?
I see it right now.
I hope you're not talking.
And the way you acted is probably the way that she acted. Belligerent, crazy, just kept talking and talking. Look her, man, this ain't this girl's first run-in with the law. This ain't this girl's first time getting in trouble. This ain't her first time. It's becoming a bad habit of hers. So if I was that dude, I would have put her sorry ass on paper. Fuck her Olympic, fuck her career. She put hands on me. She put feet on me. She physically and verbally abused me. I'm not only, I'm embarrassed, I'm emasculated, I'm feeling some type of way, but you know what I did as a fellow friend, as a fellow Black man to a woman? I took one on the chin and I said, no, she didn't do anything to try to save face, but you know what couldn't stop her? That eye in the sky, big brother, hold her ass. And ain't shit you can do about that. So I'm trying to figure this out. Because I've seen any other time with domestic violence where a woman would stand down and say, no, I don't want press charges, but the state would take over. Why isn't the state taking over this situation and pressing charges on this heifer? Why is this heifer allowed to get away with this bullshit? Hold on, ladies. I got you. Why is the state not stepping in and protecting this man? Domestic violence doesn't have a sex on it. It doesn't have a gender. It doesn't have a race. It's called domestic violence for a reason. It's not just domestic violence, man against woman, or woman against man, or anything like that, or Black against. No, it's not. It's called domestic violence. So this situation should have been handled by the state. I'm disappointed that they didn't take over. I'm disappointed she didn't go off in handcuffs. She should have never got to participate in this event in Oregon. She never should have got. Once the coach should have got wind of it, they should have sit her ass down. If we have to take a penalty and we lose a race, then lose a race. You got to set precedents. But no, they look past that because of who she is. Shame on the coaching staff. Shame on the Olympic Committee if they decide to allow her to run in the next year's Olympic. Shame on everybody that's involved in this. Shame on that dude for not pressing the issue and putting a goddamn name on paper. Shame on him, because he should have did that. That heifer deserved whatever penalties come her way. Every bit of it. Because like y'all said, if the shoe was on the other foot, we know what would have happened.
Mm-hmm.